You built a real store with real products people want, and you finally got your shipping rates dialed in. Now Shopify is changing the rules underneath you. It announced market-driven shipping. It starts rolling out on October 1st, 2026, and every store is moved onto it by July 1st, 2027, whether or not you prepared. Before I show you how to get ahead of it, subscribe because I flag every deadline like this one early, one build a day, so a platform change never catches your store off guard. In this video, I show you exactly how I get a store ready for market-driven shipping before it is switched on for you. First, understand what is changing. For years, you set shipping by zones, one set of rules stretched across every country you sell to. Market-driven shipping flips that. Your rates, currencies, and delivery options are tied to each market you sell into. So a buyer in Canada and a buyer in Germany can each see rules built for them. Shopify has a preview available today, which means you can turn it on and test it now instead of waiting for the forced migration. The stores that look at it early get to shape their own setup. The ones that wait get whatever the automatic switch gives them. Here's why you do not want to be asleep for this. When a platform moves your shipping onto a new model automatically, it maps your old rules into the new system as best it can, and best it can is not the same as correct. If the mapping undercharges, you eat the difference on every order and your margin bleeds without a single alert. If it overcharges, buyers see a scary number at checkout and abandon the cart, and you never find out why sales dipped. A shipping change looks boring, and that is exactly why it slips through and costs real money for months. So here's the prep work, and it starts before October. Pull a list of every country you actually send orders to, not the ones you theoretically allow. Group them into markets that make sense, your home country, then regions that share carriers, duties, and delivery times. For each market, decide the currency the buyer pays in and the delivery options you can truly honor there. This is unglamorous list work, and it is the difference between a smooth switch and a quarter of shipping chaos. Do it once on your terms before the calendar forces it. Now set the rates themselves so each market pays its own way. Look up what carriers really charge into each region, including the surcharges that stack on international parcels, and set your rates to reflect that instead of one flat guess. Where you want to offer free shipping, tie the threshold to a real order value that keeps you profitable, not a round number that feels generous and loses money. And for markets with duties, show the landed cost at checkout so the buyer sees the full price and no surprise bill arrives at the door. Rates matched to reality are how more markets mean more profit, not more leaks. Finally, do not trust it until you have watched it work. Turn on the preview and place a test order into each of your main markets, then confirm the buyer sees the rate, the currency, and the delivery promise you intended. Check the edge cases, a heavy item, a remote region, a mixed cart, because those are where a new rate model breaks first. Fix every gap while you still have the old system as a fallback. When the forced date arrives, your switch is a non-event because you already ran it yourself and know exactly what every buyer will see. So here is how I can help. If you want someone to map your markets, check your real carrier costs, and tell you exactly what to change before the deadline, I run a 72-hour audit for $497 and hand you the plan. If you want the whole market-driven shipping setup built and tested for you, I do that in a 14-day sprint that starts at $3,500. Subscribe because tomorrow I take a real store and get it ready for the switch, start to finish.